I'm Marty Michelle. I've been sharing with you all the ways to use the Kaleido-Ruler to cut shapes for the Kaleidoscope block. Now, when I introduced the Kaleido-Ruler, and the first time I said you can cut blocks from 6 to 16 inches, I heard somebody in the audience go, 16 inches, isn't that big? Why would you want a block that big? I thought the answer was obvious, because it doesn't take nearly as many to make a quilt. Here's my 8-inch block that I've been working and demonstrating on, and here is a 16-inch block. It's going to take a lot fewer of them than this one. This is actually a Rocky Road to Kansas variation of the Kaleidoscope block, but you can see that the triangles are the same and the corner triangles are the same, so it's just one of the things that we can use to cut with the Kaleido-Ruler. What is different is that we actually have what we call half-Kaleido-Angles. So that's what I'm going to show you right now. Now for a 16-inch block, just like all the others, you just follow down the side to see what size strip you need for cutting the Kaleido-Angle, or in this case, the half-Kaleido-Angle. Let me show you actually where that half-Kaleido-Angle is going to be. You know, all of our tools include a 1/4-inch seam allowance, and the Kaleido-Ruler is no exception. So this dashed line right here is representing the seam allowance. And while we don't have a dashed line all the way across, it's included. Now there's a center line right here, an arrow. That's the actual center line of the Kaleidoscope block. And now to get a half-Kaleido, I'm actually going to be cutting from this edge to the dashed line beyond the center arrow. If I was using this side of the ruler, it would be from here to the dashed line beyond the center of the arrow. And that's where I get the seam allowance for that side of the half block. Now, because this is a 16-inch block and the strip I need is 8.5 inches, you might remember that I've shown you how I like to use the tool itself to measure the strip width. I've already trued up the edge, and now I'm going to put the 8.5-inch line, and that's really handy because most of us don't have an 8.5-inch ruler for cutting strips. True up this edge, check it again, and now I can cut the strips that I need for that half-Kaleido-Angle. Check that out, and I'm just going to use the one strip. Now of course I have to true up an edge, and I think I'll use my regular ruler and just line that up here and get rid of the edge. Because I'm right-handed, I want to go to the left end of the strip. I definitely need a new blade. I will do that as soon as I'm through here. I'm going to go to the left end of the strip, and so I need to find that dashed line and put it right there. And sure enough, the baseline is here, and this is lining up perfectly. And there we go. And I'm going to pull back, go forward. Oh, you know, there is a couple of threads extra right there. Nip them off. And, you know, there's something to remember here. This is an asymmetrical piece. So the only way to get the pairs that I need is to cut with fabric folded wrong sides or right sides together. And now when I cut, I am going to get the mirror image pieces that I need. Now, this is why I want to show this. because once you've done that, you know you're sure that all you have to do is turn the ruler over. Well, let me get the one with the paper so you can see better. Because we did that with the other strips, didn't we? We cut, we turned, we cut, we turned. But guess what? And you're sure, oh, it doesn't work that way. I bet it works. No. You see, it just doesn't work that way. We can't have everything. So we can't have multiple size and asymmetrical, etc. This is all you do. Take one of the pieces that you just cut and lay it down on top, just like that. And since I always have this ruler in my hand, I just use the long edge and cut. I do true that up right there and cut. And there's the next pair. I just put this one back with its mate, and here's another pair. And now I'm ready to go again with the ruler. So every other one. Now, if you're left-handed, you will have started at the right end, and you'll be using from this edge to the dashed line beyond. But I'm going to cut just one more to show you what we're doing right here. So line that up, make sure you've got the seam allowance included, cut again, double check, pull that away, sure enough. Take a piece, use it like a pattern. I'm going to use this one because it's a slightly different color. And then either use your Kaleido-Ruler or a regular straight ruler and cut again. It's as easy as that. And then you have half-Kaleido-Angles. I liked using them in multi-fabrics in my Rocky Road to Kansas, or we actually call that the Tobacco Road quilt. And it helped to break up the size of that big diamond where 4 of these come together. That's the last thing I have to show you about cutting different shapes with the From Marti Michelle Kaleido-Ruler. And if you're looking for ways and ideas for making kaleidoscope quilts, the Tobacco Road quilt is in here, and so is the blue and white classic quilt that I showed you in an earlier video. So Kaleidoscope ABCs, Kaleido rulers in 2 sizes. I hope you'll love making kaleidoscope quilts.